And we are finally back. Did not think we were going to have everybody here. We do have Katie in chat, but because of storms, she doesn't have power. So we'll be trying to run Janja a little bit loosely. But hey, we're back. There's a dragon in the game, finally. It's only been in the name forever. Dungeons and Dragons. We've never seen a dungeon. Now we've seen a dragon. I'm happy. Yeah, there was one dragon that Pete's character tracked down and then ran from because he only needed to confirm it. And then he's like, "Hey guys, come help me kill this dragon." Why? Yeah, it was a baby. He could have beaten it if he had tried, or it would have eaten him. Depends on the dice. But hey, quick recap. Okay, so in our last session, Trevor was getting ready to get married, and it was like a couple days before his wedding day, and everybody in the community forgot who he was and thought he was a new person. And apparently, when you go around telling people that you are the paladin of a fallen angel, archduke of hell, it scares people. And his own brother ran him out of the community. But he met up with his friends, who all remembered him for some reason, thanks to a very some good rolls and a very potentially dangerous ritual in which Riena actually volunteered to risk her mind and basically her entire psyche to help channel something that from another timeline. And you realize that Shar took exception to you taking away one of her servants. So in retribution, she took away your memory from everyone on the plane, except for your friends for some reason. Yes. And then there was some other hijinks, of course, because there's always something else going on. I just don't have an hour to recap it all. But Janja had also picked up a couple of wanted posters for himself and for Riena. Going back to the community where a new seaside port is starting to form, you were asking around and you found out there's this small girl who's been looking for Riena. And as soon as Riena, while in disguise, put her hand out to be shook, the dragon noticed some inconsistencies, and suddenly this little 10-year-old girl's arm became a giant dragon claw, which grabbed Riena up, and she says, "I found you." And that's where we are. Roll initiative. I'm going to roll for you. Just let me know roughly what you want to do. Okay. So, I've given up on the idea that we're a family channel, but still. I know, that's why I said I gave up on the fact that we were a family channel. See, Janja didn't do too bad with an 18. Maybe that's because I was, I don't know why you couldn't, but everybody just put yourselves back in there. I'm going to delete you guys because apparently whatever I put in wasn't right, and I was just trying to estimate where you were. Anyway, let's see. And Trevor is going last, apparently, because he is in utter shock at what he sees. Let me just bring Janja back out, because if I can get everything to work fast. Okay, so, Riena, you do get to act first in whatever way you want to, but you're completely restrained by a dragon, so that's going to be challenging, to say the least. I didn't say, but it's got a light reddish hue to it. You might call it copper. You might call it brass. The girl has red hair, if that helps. Not like bright red, again, like a coppery red. And she's got this big smile on her face. All right. Obviously, you don't have to fight. I just wanted us in initiative order in case it comes down to a fight. Your hands are, you know, currently being held by a dragon claw. No, burning hand is like, I think somatic components. Like you need to be able to point your hands. So, I'm not saying you couldn't do it, but you'd be absorbing a lot of that heat yourself. Yeah. Resistance not immune. Okay. Okay. I really didn't think you were still here. I mean, when Izza started scrying for you and we were all sent out to look for you, we were like, oh, there's no way she's going to stay in the same continent. She up and ran. I was just here as a precaution, but really, you're here. That's very clever. That is so clever. Well, Izza is the dragon that was affected by the curse, obviously. Oh, I didn't introduce myself. Hi, I'm Izza. And she's holding out her normal human hand and pulling you close enough and like, oh, yeah, I can't let you go. But hi, I'm Izza. And we've got a very long swim ahead of us. So if you're nice, I'll let you keep your legs, but I'm going to have to put you to sleep. Is that okay? Sure. I'm going to say that based on her wording, it's really hard to tell. But you have no way of knowing because you only know it was the fourth oldest dragon. Yes. Yes, you know that it happened. You just didn't know what. Yeah, the wording of the spell was that the dragon knew who you were, but you only know it is the fourth oldest dragon. So this little girl with a dragon arm who's talking about Izza and how she is Izza is probably really confusing. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to either, okay, first off, you can't run away while I'm trying to explain this because it's going to take a little while. And she just like starts walking towards the pier, carrying you up in the air. What? I can walk and talk at the same time. I'm over 3,000 years old. Well, actually, no, Izza's over 3,000 years old. I'm like 18 months old. It really gets confusing. Well, okay. You see, you started playing with cursed items, and now you have to pay the price for it. I'm really sorry about that, but it's just the way things got to be. Oh, no, I'm a simulacrum. Izza made several of us to track you down so she didn't have to leave her lair. Made it a lot easier because you were using, and she reaches up and plucks your anti scrying necklace. You were really clever, and she chunks that out into the ocean. And then she just starts off walking again. So, anyway, what? Oh yeah, they're all behind you actually, and that's why I've been waiting for somebody to do something. It's just easier to call me Izza, and she holds out her hand to shake it. Hi. And she kind of looks out and like, well, there's no boats in the dock, so I'm probably gonna have to swim. So yeah, I've got a minute. Well, well, yeah, because it's like 1,000 miles back home, so I'm gonna have to swim. Or, and then she looks back at you. Are you sure you don't want to just me to like put you to sleep magically? You won't feel anything, and I don't have to take your legs. Because if I take your legs, you're gonna be really unhappy, and it's gonna be a long trip. Well, we're going back home, so that Izza can kill you and get her wings back. Oh well, I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's so and not to be rude, but it probably isn't gonna matter. I mean, it's not your fault. Well, I mean, it is your fault, but still, this is the way curses work. Oh, we'll bring the dust back. What? Oh well, we'll bring we'll give you we'll give your friends your dust. They can sprinkle you wherever. Yes, yes. We really don't know how these things work, so disintegration is probably the safest method. Oh, sweetie, this isn't a mortal curse. This is this is way, way, way beyond you. And she's actually like reaching up to pat you on the cheek, like you're. And then she starts to sniff. And Trevor, where exactly do you keep that feather Zariel gave you? Okay, because she's leaning in and she is sniffing around there. Okay. Hey, I have the memories of thousands of years, okay? Well, maybe, but it's a long shot. And then she turns back to Trevor and says, do you have an angel feather on you? And her and then she like looks up the volcano in the distance and says, "Okay, look, I'm not saying this is going to work, but there might be a small chance. So I'm going to need you to pinky swear that if this doesn't work, I get to come back and then Izza's going to eat you. Or I can hang on to your friend and you guys can run some errands for me." Again, I can put you to sleep. You won't age. You won't need food. We'll just keep you somewhere safe. Okay. Yes. Well, yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. Well, see, then your bloodline goes on, but I mean, come on, be realistic here. I'm a dragon. I sleep for mortal lifetimes. And I don't want to go and sound all, speciesist, but you are a, a blip to me. Yeah, I mean, okay, so a lot of you could be really entertaining blips, but still, the well, I mean, it. Look, there is a chance, and I mean a small chance, that there is a way to sort of rewind events enough, and basically, I don't know that it's going to work, but you have one of the components that we need to try to make it work. And I'm really afraid to let go of her because she's just sneaky. And if we had to try to do this hunt all over again, we're just going to wind up taking your arms and legs and bring you straight over. So that's why, and she holds out her pinky, that's why I need you all to pinky swear that you're not going to run away if this doesn't work. Well, we don't know what's actually going to work because this isn't some, oh, here's a loophole curse. What if it's a really complex curse? What if she has to stay dead? And then you're not going to like that, and then I'm going to have to kill you all, and then I'm not going to like that, but I'm going to do it. No. No. That is not how it works. Quit trying to simplify this, mortal. What are you exactly? Okay, Izza has to be the one to kill her. Otherwise, I'd have snapped her neck right now. This isn't about her lifespan. Izza has to be the one to do it. If she dies any other way, Izza will never get her wings back. That's why I have to take her home. And then they take you to a cleric. He brings you back, and then the curse comes back. And then, what if that happens? Then I'm going to feel really stupid. And I look. Well, the fact that she doesn't have her wings, teleportation magic doesn't work. This was a very thorough curse. Okay. And that's why, if you would quit interrupting me, I would tell you that there is a and she's using her human hand to do this, very small chance that I might be able to work out a ritual. Well, she can work out the ritual. You know what I mean. This is very confusing being a simulacrum. Okay. So there's a chance we can make this work, but if I let go of you, you can't run away and do that hiding thing again. And that's why, okay, but I don't, but the point is that there, you might be able to do something. So that's why I need you to pinky swear. And she's holding out her hand again, and she'll loosen up her claws enough. Okay. And she, need you to say it 3 times. And Riena, your microphone cut out then, but I saw your lips move, so I think you said it, right? Okay. No, that's fine. Because when you say it 3 times, you feel something lock into place. You will not hide from this dragon if this fails. You don't know, because Oaths have a power of their own. You don't know how it will affect you, but if you try to break it, something bad might happen. And with that, she sets you down gently and her arm turns back in. Like, I am so glad that you are a reasonable person. I was so afraid you were. Actually, it would have been easier if you were a bad person because then I wouldn't have to feel bad about it. But you seem like such a nice person, and I hated to have to kill you, and we still might. But, we got a chance now. It's a small chance, but we got a chance. Okay, so I am going to need that angel feather from the paladin here. And I'm going to need that phoenix egg from the volcano out there. Oh, I don't think I can help. I can't fly. She kind of. No, it wasn't really that big. It was a small community that suddenly became a coastal, village when half the world broke off. So it doesn't really have a temple yet. People just pray in their homes. Oh, oh, sure. Because I mean, after all, you made the promise, so I know I can trust you. Make a wisdom check at advantage for me. Okay. You start to hear this cheerful voice say, "Well, now of course we care about people. There's just a lot of you, but we we're watching over you. We just can't directly interfere. Sorry." We kind of have to like be called in. We can't just walk through. But Izza is like really nice, and as long as you don't betray her, you should be fine. Good luck. And that good luck just sort of echoes for a second. We'll do what we can. So Izza has, still in her girlfriend. It's like, okay, so, and pointing to Janja, you're not a human because you smell like a cat. And then she turns to Michael, and you smell like a human, but you have wings. And she's looking at you like she's expecting more than that. Oh, okay. Okay. So if you guys can go and bring the egg back here. Oh, and if I could hang on to that feather just in case, like I have to send someone else out to get, please don't die, you tiefling girl. But still, if something does happen, then I can send someone else to go and get the egg. And with that, the dragon arm comes out and she snatches up Riena again. Look, I'm really sorry. It doesn't like all your friends are going to cooperate. We're going to have to go back to disintegrating you. Well, because that's. Well, I kind of need it now. Look, I promise I'm not going to run away with it because that's only a part of what we need for the ritual. Now, what if you go and get burnt up? You think it's more of a wanting to hang on to it, because you're fragile. It's like, when you give your kid $20 or something and then you suddenly remember you can't trust your kid and you're going to hang on to the money for them. That is not helping me feel better about this idea. Rihanna, she just gives you like the most sorrowful look ever. Like, I don't know how you've made it this far. You must really be blessed by someone out there. But unfortunately, it looks like your luck's up because I don't know if I can trust these people. Make a persuasion at advantage once again. That promise is really helping you out. I don't know how you got 3 in there, but is probably. Do you have like advantage plus clicked right now? Oh, okay. Reliable talent is what's kicking in. Okay. I I'm not sure. Ah, okay. Okay, I didn't know how that was reflected in roll 20. Now I do. Cool. All right then. So yeah, it's like, look, okay, and she puts you down again, and the arm turns back to normal. Look, I'm not trying to be unreasonable about this, but this is a very drastic situation, and we don't know that these items and this ritual will even work. It's a long shot, but it might be able to reverse is this timeline, like make her nice and young and powerful again and restore everything before the curse. But we don't know that it will actually work because no one has ever tried it before, at least no one who's still alive anymore. We did a lot of research trying to figure out a way to not have to murder you. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of like restoring her youth. And oh no, 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 much much better than that. You know, I once knew of a tiefling who was actually very smart, so don't go and try to make me think that you're dumb. I don't know about the winged guy here because he just said he's been in the river Styx a few times. That can have lasting effects. Hmm. Well, okay, but I really don't want to have to kill you all. Well, this isn't messing with time. This is sort of like an epic level restoration. No, we. I don't even look. There's only been a few beings who have ever tried to really mess with time, and I really like really mess with time. Usually, you have to keep it kind of simple. And even Mordecai quit doing that a while ago. I think he quit doing that a while ago. It's kind of hard to tell because he jumps to different realms, and then you don't even know when he messes with something. Yeah, she's just gonna keep babbling while she walks. Uh, I don't really know much about how you guys classify spells. I mean, I know a good bit of it, but I mean, if you happen to know, like, an archmage, Victor would have been considered an archmage. Okay. Sorry, but slight point of clarification. Michael took all those to Dwight, who disintegrated them. Yeah, that's when he was talking about the tome of still tongues. That got disintegrated. Yeah, that's really kind of high up on the list. I don't know. I haven't had them on video, so it's hard to tell. But but you weren't really there for that, so yeah. But yes, Yes, but Riena absolutely extorted him to make him pay up. And if it weren't for the fact you undervalued what that thing really was worth, he might have been really pissed. You were walking on thin ice with him for a while. Okay, so you guys can start walking, or you can use Michael's magic to try to fast travel. But without Michael actually being here to talk to us, I don't know what spells he has available. So, yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and bring us over to the world map, and we're going to try to figure out because I had said that you guys were wow. This is my connection is just not great today. I'm surprised we're even running things because all right, there now it's finally cleared up. Yeah, you're a good, I'd say almost 1 to 2 weeks on foot. And of course, that's going to help. Having a dragon walk alongside you means that not too many things are going to mess with you along that way. So unless somebody wants, can speed that up, um, we will just go ahead and have to say that you're going to walk it until we can retcon that. But eventually, yes, you will make it to Emberfield, which was the town where you guys were having so much fun before. It's still running along just fine. There seems, now that it's getting cold, there's less people are still trying to work the fields, but there's I don't know what you can grow in the cold. But they do seem to have increased their abyssal chicken population, and there is even a chain devil that is out there tending the abyssal chickens. That might look a little bit odd. Well, Corvus was already there, so that might help to answer that question. He looks at you like, that's not my name, but hi. Yeah, okay. And my connection is okay. Well, I didn't need that description. We're gonna say that were you willing to use your magic to speed up the travel? Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to see what spells were at and how much time. What did you want to do in Emberfield? Okay. Oh yeah. Again, Rihanna, made the oath, so she's actually quite willing to extend you certain courtesies. Like assuming you won't run away, because she honestly believes that Rihanna can't physically run away now. Okay, so okay, so she turns back into her human girl appearance and follows you in, but you go into the cat's paw and you see Zeldina. Yeah, she is just like got several books out, multiple languages, and she takes her a second to look up. Oh, you're back! How wonderful! And when you say that, she was like, "Yes." And why? Okay. And what do you have to trade for something like this? Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, that sounds right. We'll say that whatever you had left, you'll hand over. So, um, and that's more than enough for her. And she says, "Well, Shar doesn't really operate in the open because, several of her clergy have done some really entertaining things that you mortals dislike. So there's not very many that, yeah, well, that's fair. Oh, I'm not going to take sides in that. But I am, oh, no, yeah. So, all right. So, I do know that had on another page, a couple of them. And so she's kind of flipping through some notes, and she can say, well, there's no temples that I'm aware of on this continent, but they tend to be like, small groups. I mean, I do know where one big temple is, but I don't really think that's somewhere that you're willing to go. Um, so, but she can say, like, okay, there's one that's on another country, and because Andy doesn't have the proper notes that he thought he was going to have. Um, we're go- oh wait, this might actually be it. Okay, so yeah, there's one in Waterdeep, but I think that's a little bit beyond you. Um, oh, okay, well it's in Undermountain to be specific. Do you know what Undermountain is? Okay, so I'll assume Trevor doesn't either. That is the giant dungeon that is run by Hallister, also known as the Mad Mage. The Temple of Shar is very deep in there, but it's a big temple. Statue of her and everything. It's actually very nice. A lot of detail went into that. But okay, but if you travel to the country of you might be able to find some of her clergy there, and she'll kind of show you on the world map roughly where that is. Yeah, you are welcome. And she pockets those soul coins. Well, if you survive, please tell me how that conversation goes. I'm very interested. Oh, you have fun. Okay. The reply will come back simply no. Okay. Yeah, what do you want to know about them? Well, they're elder elementals, which means that they are elementals that have eaten enough other elementals to become extremely powerful. And, well, obviously it's made of fire and it flies. Could you narrow down your request just a little bit just to make it easier, for me to. Because we don't really have time for me to go over the history of phoenixes. Well, when you kill it, it'll become an egg, and then I will take that egg, and then it won't be a problem for you anymore. Yeah, pretty much. A lot of damage will do it. Well, I mean, that's sort of how you kill anything. You hurt it until it stops moving. Exactly. Do you have a lot of water? Well, I mean, I don't think it should hurt as much as anything else getting shattered. I I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, as long as it isn't fire. And Michael, you do see Corvus, who is sitting on a tower just watching you guys at a distance, invisibly. He waves back. Ooh. Corvus is actually too far away to actually hear you without you just screaming at him. He does not move. You guys are really weird. You know that? She's just smiling at you. Well, why would he forget you? Oh, dear. Oh, wow. What? Oh, good luck with that. Char is kind of a pain to like everybody. Who? Did the queen get married? I was asleep for a while before the whole curse thing. Yeah, they're neat. Hi. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that your Pegasus can understand people, and I'm checking on their languages now. But she's got the necessary intelligence to understand most people, or she doesn't have the vocal cords to speak back. So you guys are going to have to actually trek up to the mountain if that's what you were going to do. Okay. So you do walk by the tower that the former watchtower, or the imprisonment tower. That's where Corvus is hanging out watching you guys, and he's just watching you go with True Sight. Yes. What are you gonna give me to help? Your soul? And he does sort of drop down and appears in front of you. If you got a counter offer, I'm willing to make a deal. And Corvus will say, so you want to exchange a favor for a favor. Okay. And let me roll a d6 right quick. Let's see what form the contract will come up in. Because. And he will just say, okay, so the specifics of this will be that uh, I will offer you my services this one time. In exchange, you will repay in kind to me. And if not, well, you forfeit your soul. Does that sound fair? Well, I don't know. That's why it's a favor for a favor. There will be it will be a favor within the same bounds as to what I give you. So I'm not going to ask you to blow up a continent unless you ask me to blow up a continent. Sure. Well, I'm going to need some help with it. Now, you can offer that help, or I can recruit my own help, but that increases the weight of the favor you owe me. Well, of course I'm going to use her. She's using me. Well, I'm not. Oh, I'm not exactly a weakling. Now, look, if hey, I come from the abyss. Well, not the abyss. I come from hell. It is elemental fire. You've been there. Oh, and plus, I can't die on this realm. If something did happen to me, as long as you were able to retrieve the egg with my assistance, I will only ask for your assistance in dealing with some big creature down the line. That's fair. Now, if you want me to bring in an army of devils to deal with that phoenix, I can do that, but then, you're going to owe me pretty big. Corvus does point out, look, there are other ways you might be able to repay the favor. It just has to be something in kind. Well, you could hand over something of immense value, preferably magical. You could give me your child. Let's see. The soul, I assume, is off the table. Grisette doesn't actually have a claim to it, but you seem like you don't want to hand that over. Um, you could assist me in finding certain relics. She asked for examples. Okay, that's fine. You can kill something for me. You can kill something for me. You can give me something of immense value, or you can help me track down certain relics, and I will tell you whenever I get word of where they might be. That's call it 3 relics. If you take the relics option, I'll even provide you with a little bit of extra assistance somewhere along the way. I think getting a phoenix egg counts as 1 relic. That's 1 relic for a relic. No, I didn't say I was keeping it. I said I was helping you to attain it. It only makes sense that I travel with you. Exactly. I'll even travel with you and we'll keep it. It can be an open-ended contract until. And 3 is just the number that I'm coming up with. 3 always has a good feel to it. Do we have an accord? And he's already pulled out some paper that he's been making notes on. The contract is actually in the form of a song. That's the infernal contract I pulled up. You will have to sing it with him, and I'm not actually going to make a sing, but The purpose of this as and you read Infernal, correct? Okay. I was going to make sure because if you want to double check the wording of yeah. Uh yeah, so if you want to make an intelligence check just to double check the wording, he's fine with that. Yeah, you're just seeing a 3 for, a favor for a favor. Um and he'll talk you through it because this is all in legalese. So basically, if you choose not to repay the favor to me anywhere along the lines, um, well, after as long as the favor is owed, you forfeit your soul. If I refuse to help you complete a favor when you are indebted to me, then my existence is forfeit and you become eternally young. Now, this is only when one of us owes the other. So, for example, if I get destroyed fighting the Phoenix and you obtain what you're looking for, then you owe me, but obviously I can't reclaim the favor until I come back. So, therefore, I can't call in that favor. If you die attempting to help me, well, then you were at least attempting to help. If you get the egg and then you say, screw you, Corvus, well, then your soul is forfeit. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes. We're going to put it this way. This is a favor for a favor up to 3. If I help you get the egg, you owe me 1. If you need, and then I will, if I find one of the items I need, I will tell you, and then you owe me that favor. If I see 2 things that I need and I ask you to help, then you can say no and walk away with your 1 favor, or you can help me and then I owe you. You say that after you kind of glance over. It's like, yeah, this is a sound contract with that 3. Absolutely. It's business. All right, so look, you need a way around this dragon thing, right? Oh, so you just need a way to bring your soul back afterwards. Well, yeah, all things are possible. You just need something beyond mortal magic. Now, who do you know that's beyond mortal? So, this is going to be different. And I know you don't want to like give up your soul. You're not going to give me your kid. That's off the table. I get it. So, what can you offer me in exchange for saving your life? Because I can't do this for free. It doesn't matter what I think of you on a personal level. I got rules. Well, it needs to be a decent soul. Do you want to give your soul up for Riena? Because you kind of have to be able to actually offer me the soul. I mean, there's always, the proper ritual sacrifice, but it's going to have to be more than one if you do that. Now, I can still call in a favor from you down the line that is equal to what I am willing to do now. I can't tell you what form that's going to be because that's sort of the open ended favor problem. I need to understand the curse first. Okay. And he will also get Izza to explain, what they understand, what the dragon understands of the curse. Okay. So she wants to make sure that the curse has been properly lifted. You don't want to die. I have to go talk to some people and see what we can work out. But again, I need to be able to bring them something to say this is worth our involvement. Now, you guys have been capable of quite a bit, but so if it's going to be a favor, I need it to be you need to be able to speak on behalf of you. Basically, if I'm going to save your life, I'm going to ask you to risk your life at some point. And it's probably going to need more than just you. I'm not saying your friends are tied to this, but you'll have to get your own group because whenever I point my finger at something and say I need this dealt with, you have to say yes, Corvus, I'm on it. Okay. Mm-hmm. He actually has something that you might agree with. Basically, he's going to present you with a tattoo design, and he says the more people you can get to willingly take on this tattoo, and I don't care what the reasoning is, but this is a soul binding tattoo. The more people who are willing to take it, the more recruits we're going to get. Now, there is something to say that some souls are worth more than others. That's a given. So, we're just going to say that you need to get enough souls to equal your power. Now, that's not an exact number. If you can get some priests to tack it on, that would be really impressive. If you exceed that, I'll owe you a favor down the line. Uh, Basically, if you agree to this, you'll know the design. And he'll even say that it can be covered up as long as, this specific shape is in there. So if you want to try and embellish on it to hide what it is, that's fine. This is absolutely, deception is encouraged. And yeah. And it's just that they have to willingly, you can't brand it on people. This has to be a willing thing. So if you make it a very popular design in the city and everybody gets it, then, you're going to have Corvus popping up whenever you call him. For, at least until the favor is returned again. But it's sort of the best open-ended option for you. Well, if I'm right, we can skip the whole egg. I got use of the egg if you want to help me take it. But and he'll say to Izza also. I think that we can all agree that the power that Asmodeus can bring to this far outweighs mortal magic. Are we all in agreement there? Okay. Well, Izza is willing to risk it. Okay. So, okay. Uh, and he says, to give him about a day to check his resources. So, does anybody want to do anything with the rest of the day? Okay. So in within that time, Riena, he'll pop up back in front of you and says, "I've got a way to do it, and I will take us directly to Izza to implement this plan. You do have to actually be there with the dragon." Basically, she is going to disintegrate you, but then I'm going to bring your soul back into this world in a new body. It'll look like the old body. Well, I'm going to. This is some pretty high level magic, but basically, I'm going to restore you to form. But we are going to do it in such a way that you have died, your soul has moved on, Izza gets her wings back, and then you are restored back to this realm. Yes. Because from what we understand, it doesn't matter where your soul goes, she just has to be the one to kill you. And to make Izza feel better, we'll allow for a full disintegration. Or she can eat you, whichever one, works for her. The point is, this current body you're in dies. And then we just give you a new body. And it can look like something else if you want, but it's probably easier just to remake your current body. Basically, what he's offering is true resurrection. Slightly better than Michael's variation. And if it makes you feel better, your patron has signed off on this. Well, he didn't really want us, interfering with your soul too much. We have a working relationship with him. If you make yourself valuable to him, he'll, you know. But anyway, and with that, Corvus will have you vanish in some black fire. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. And with that, Corvus will teleport you in a dramatic display that probably scares locals. And you are suddenly standing before a a great copper dragon in her lair. Her lair is actually very nice. There's various gems on display. There's an actual stage at one section. And when she sees you looking at it, she's like, I like to have bards over. They're really nice. Well, I get the feeling he may not like what's about to happen. Yeah. And she will actually transform into a mortal form. Comes up puts her hands on either side of your cheeks and says, "I'm sorry this has to happen too. It's not my first choice, but I promise you won't feel a thing." And with that, you do feel the magic pouring over you. If you want to try to fight it, you can. But with that, you drift peacefully to sleep, and yep, yep. And she's definitely, she's not crying, but you can tell this isn't something that she wanted either. But she is an ancient creature who has had to kill for survival more than once. And the next thing Riena knows, she is lying in the city of Emberfield, completely naked in the middle of the afternoon. No. Uh, Katie, I cannot hear you at all. I know you're trying to talk, but it's coming out robotic. Somebody there will, bring you a blanket to wrap yourself in because they were very confused when you suddenly appeared. And your friends probably will hear the commotion and come running. And Corvus is there. You can see him, even though people seem to accept the fact that there's some kind of Aarakocra around who's always helping out. So they're not too freaked out by him. He's like, "Hey, it worked. And all you owe is a minimum of 3." So, what was death like? Yeah, and everybody always says that. Anyway, you'll be happy to know that your dragon problem is over. You're welcome. It was a profitable business arrangement. And I suppose on a personal level, I'm glad you're around. I know that's not worth much because, I'm a devil. None of you like me. But hey, didn't you threaten to use me as a pincushion a few times when I was an imp? So are all your friends. Anyway, yeah. A couple of hours. Like if we left in the morning, it's noon, same day. We had to give enough time for to make sure Izza had her wings back. Okay. Yeah, he was one of the people who saw your return. Uh he's a little freaked out by the whole thing, so he just like, of course, here's your things. Okay, that's just leaving him. That doesn't alleviate the confusion at all, but he accepts it. Okay. Okay, he will bring you a big plate of chicken and some ale, and he's not going to ask questions about the tiefling woman who appeared in fire in the middle of the street. There's obviously a lot of talk about this being the will of Utar, but people are just overall confused by the whole thing. Yeah. Since Michael is having such a bad connection, he's had to drop out with us today. So, uh, Jonja, we've been having trouble hearing you, but if you've got anything, please let me know. Yes, it sounds better now. And then we lost you again. Yeah, we're only getting syllables. Okay, Trevor, were you doing anything right before everybody started talking about the woman that appeared in Bonfire? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't remember you. The one advantage. Yeah. Uh, the temple has definitely, been evened out. It's fully Utar now. No signs of Torm, who was there before. The village itself is still got a lot of buildings that you know probably need to be torn down and fixed, but that was the way it was before. Uh, they're eating a lot more abyssal chicken in their diet, but there seems to be whatever they did. They're more chicken now, so the food problem seems to be mostly solved. They're still, so people are still pretty happy with the whole not dying thing. They're very wary of the chain devil who tends to chickens, but he doesn't cause problems. Okay. And Rihanna, I would say that you know, because the terms were a little bit loose. If you exceed your goal for Corvus, you can call in a favor from him again. But otherwise, unless you specifically want him, he'll go back to doing whatever it was he was doing before. Yep. And with that, he just wanders off. He'll bring that right over because we did have a name for him, but that was like a month ago. I think it was Taliesin. Tiberius just starts eating one of the pieces of chicken. And you don't understand why he feels the need to wrestle his food, but he is wrestling his food before he eats it. Yes. I don't even think he's listening. He just his connection was so bad he wasn't getting anything from us, so he had to drop off. Yeah. So we'll catch him up later. It is a nice, cool but sunny day. How fake are you being right now? Yeah. A weight has been lifted off her shoulders after years of worry. Like there's no insane ogress that wants her dead. There's no pissed off dragons. All she had to do was make a deal with the devil, and now she's just walking on sunshine. Okay, we it sounds better, but we'll let you know because I know how bad the connection can be after a storm. Like I said before, reality is really just a game of Sim City, and someone's getting bored and it's just hitting all the natural disasters. Just watch out for Godzilla. This was about the time you were getting a refill, and Taliesin is just. He quits pouring and just steps to take it back and walks away. Nope. This woman appeared in fire. Her friend's punching priest. I got paid good, so I'm just walking away. Hey, I'm just glad that we didn't have to completely skip after a cliffhanger. I love cliffhangers, but every time I try to use them, you guys backfired on me by having to bail for. They're just so much fun. You guys freak out for a while, then you stress me out for a while, and then I get mad at you and I do more cliffhangers. Other people bother me People bother me in general. All right, punching priest. Sitting in a tavern eating chicken. Katie, I'm afraid it's happening again. Every time you flip to Janja, it goes out. It is. Okay. Okay. Now, you did say you had taken the hat of disguise. So, if you want to be attuned to that and look like someone else, just unattune to one of your other items. But I assume you're keeping the necklace and probably the ring. But let me know. Katie, you might have to type in some of what you're wanting because it slows down every time you talk. It just gets drawn out. It is. It's like you're in the old version of the Matrix. The bird come through fine. Yep. He's really just cawing over his victory over the chicken that was cooked. Okay, so what we Katie, I am sorry, but every time you try to talk to us, it goes right back out the window. Yes. That's the reference I was trying to remember. I forgot his name. Okay, so Trevor, what we could make out was that you were talking about how you were explaining to Riena your goal for getting your life back from Shar. And Trevor does have a very interesting method of doing that. I know. Yeah, I knew my connection was bad for a bit, but this might have to be a really short session if we're not able to keep anybody. I mean, we got to do a major thing. I was hoping to get some other, if we can't do combat, we can at least get a few of your goals rolling. Okay. Shar, her portfolio is she is called the Lady of Darkness or My Lady of Loss. She covers pain and the darkness, obviously. So miners might pray to her before they go into a mine, hoping to be protected. People who have tragedy in their life will pray to her to forget it, or maybe they will nurture that pain and unleash it on other people in her, and then they pray to her to aid them in doing that. Yes. So, therefore, like I said, sometimes her priests appear to be very benevolent, helping people cope with loss. Other times, they are using the darker side of magic to influence and cause more problems. In fact, depending on which legends you have looked up, Shar is actually responsible for a lot of dark magic. In that, you know, it depends on if you've ever studied the alleged spell plague that Michael has a habit of talking about. Her sister made the magical weave. Shar made the dark weave. So a lot of people who use like some of what Victor did probably called upon some of the magic that Shar has helped put into the world. And there's a guard who's walking by the open door who kind of turns to looks at you and looks behind him. He's really confused by the whole thing. Yeah. And oddly enough, about that time, one of the chicken legs is floating in the air as Corvus suddenly appears holding it, getting ready to say, that is a lot of fun. And he says, snacking on the chicken. But what are you going to do when the angels come after you? Yeah, but that just means that she can't throw rocks at you. I mean, you think that she's going to sit back and not put a bounty on your head? Look, I'm all for punching priest. I want to be there to watch it. Well, thank you. I probably will come along for the show. I'm just wondering, what are you going to do when her more uh, devoted followers start trying to track you down? I did not hear a bit of that. Okay, so you're saying that you will start to kill those who come to take your life, right? Okay, and then what are you going to do when she starts sending her supernatural followers? Oh, none taken. I'm just saying that I think this is a great plan, despite your total lack of planning. And uh, uh, well, guys, 1 second. My connection is getting so bad that I'm having trouble hearing you. I think I'm just going to call off the stream, but we're going to go ahead and keep chatting because this is all stuff that we can just recap in the next game. So, technology hates us today. I'm sorry. We'll be back next week for Dragon Heist, and I can't wait to show what you guys come up with. So, see you next time.